Good evening, namaste. So we will start the chapter 1, part 3 of the same book, same chapter we have been reading for last 3 sessions. The book is Theosophy Explained, chapter 1, what Theosophy is. We have the same speaker, so we will continue that. And I think today we'll close the chapter. Before we start the session, let us do the universal invocation followed by couple of minutes silence. O hidden life, vibrant in every atom. O hidden light, shining in every creature. O hidden love, embracing all in oneness. May each who feels himself as one with thee know he is also one with every other. Silence. Come back. As we know, Brother Adi Keshav Shastri has been explaining us the chapter 1 of the book, Theosophy Explained. I think the chapter 1 is the very base of our understanding what Theosophy is. Unless and until we understand what Theosophy is, we would probably not deep dive into the other Theosophic literature. So all these why, what, how, when, and where will be answered in chapter 1 most likely. This is the concluding session of chapter 1. So any question you have kept in your mind since last 2 sessions and today, we would spend some time in exploring, and all suggestions and questions will be taken up at the end of the discussion. Adi generally presents on the screen and shares. So today let us do it for, I think half an hour would be good if it's conclusion. And then we will see how people are talking about it practically and what has affected them for the last 2 times. It should not be like Adi speaking and we're listening. Did it really affect? Did I really take away something and did something in the last 2 weeks? That is the best way to, go to a session and understand, grasp, and implement in our life. So over to you, Adi.
Prano Devi Saraswati Vaje Bhirvajinivati Dhinama Vitrevatu. Good evening, one and all. Today, we will have the concluding session of the chapter 1 of Theosophy Explained, and that's part 3. I have been doing it for the past 2 weeks. So we will right away start with our part 3. Okay. The next question that people would ask is, okay, Theosophy is the study of occult sciences. We agree. Okay. But the question is, what does Theosophy teach of philosophy? So, teaching of philosophy, for that matter, there's something, okay. Okay, what does the Theosophy teach? Before we go to that, let's see what Giordano Bruno has told. To reach the knowledge of the one is the main aim of philosophy. The word one here is the essence. So every set of philosophy would come again to one and only thing, that is the one, whatever you can call it, the Brahman, the God, unmanifested thing. All these things, the philosophy should come and exactly reach that one. That is the essence of philosophy. Okay. 1 minute, I'll just let everybody in, I believe.
I will accept you. Don't worry. You continue. I will accept
Okay.
you.
So, what is that one? To understand that one, let's have two categories here. As you know, one here I have made it as a physical knowledge and something called as a metaphysical knowledge. Okay, let's understand. Once we understand the difference between these two, definitely we can understand, we can have the understanding of the word one. Okay, the first one is physical knowledge would give us the multiplicity of objects. Remember, we have an object and the multiplicity of that object would be given here in the physical sense. Whereas in the metaphysical knowledge, we have the knowledge of unity. There, multiplicity doesn't come. So out of multiplicity, we find the unity. So that is the metaphysical knowledge. And in the physical knowledge, as we talk, we observe the object by our senses. Definitely. For example, we have an object. What is the length of the object? What is the weight of the object? What is the mass of the object? All these observations, they are of the physical knowledge. Whereas the metaphysical knowledge definitely would provide us the observation of the objects by ESP. That is extrasensory perception. It is above senses. So this is the difference. And one more thing, the physical knowledge what we have, that is observation of the object by senses, we call it as science. Whereas the metaphysical observation of the things, we call it as philosophy. So that is the difference. In philosophy, what we have is very simple, that we do not observe the object as a different one. Here, the observer and the object become one. Then only that essence is called philosophy. Now, the only one who knows this unity, so forgetting all about the multiplicities and only concentrating on unity, one who does it is a philosopher. And as you know, Plato has told beautifully, such a one I esteem as God. Yes, the one I'm concentrating, the one I'm seeking is something I call it as God. Okay, so Theosophy is the philosophy of life. And it says the solar system is a magnificent manifestation of the divine life, and man is a part of it. Yes, the solar system, not only our solar system, there are thousands and n number of solar systems in the universe. Every solar system, it has its own, it has manifested, and that manifestation, we are also a part of it. Definitely, that we know exactly by it. And it is also given by Ishopanishad. Isha vasyam idam sarvam yat kincha jagatyam jagat tena tyaktena bunjitha ma grida kasya svidhanam. It says, Jagatyam chatkincha jagat asti idam sarvam isha vasyam. Whatever we have, it is completely surrounded by the Ishvara, the God. Tena tyaktena bhunjita. Forgetting everything, enjoy it. Kasyas with dhanam magradaha. So don't look for others' wealth. That's what the first shloka of Ishopanishad says. That means all this is for habitation by the Lord. Whatsoever is individual universe of movement in the universal motion, by that renounce thou shouldst enjoy. You should enjoy it. Lust not after any man's possession. So let's not, like you see, when we talk about the possession here, it is not the physical possession like money or wealth or something else. It is the knowledge of others. You cannot rob the knowledge of the others, and you should not curb others because he has got good knowledge. That's why you should only enjoy. That's what here it completely says. You should enjoy. So you cannot steal and enjoy. I cannot steal and enjoy the happiness, the the bliss that you have got by something. You cannot do it. That's what the total essence of this the shloka of Ishopanishad. Now, as you know, we have already explained. So whenever explaining it to a newcomer, it becomes a different task. Yes, the manifestation of the unmanifested monad, it undergoes several stages, like Adiloka, Anupadaka Loka, Atma Loka, Buddhi Loka, Arupa Manas, that is formless mind, and Rupa Manas, and then we have Kamaloka, the astral body, and then we have this Sthula Loka, the physical world. So this is how the manifestation has taken place. Whatever is here at the top is at the bottom. Only thing is there are certain qualities have been added up. Yes. When we think of this thing from here to here, some things are added. Whatever you can call it, as characteristics, or when we talk physically, they become more, they gain mass. From here there is no mass. From no mass to certain mass, which could be seen by our own naked eyes, that is Sthula Loka. So this is how one has to explain when you are explaining the manifestation, the process of manifestation to a newcomer, because it will be a very, very difficult task, because people always get confused with something coming down. That means whenever we show this figure, we always consider this monad or this Sthula Loka. The matter here and matter here, we always use the Dvaitism, that there are two separate things. No, they are not two separate things. It is the same thing which has manifested by coming down the different lokas. Okay, so once we have this manifestation, the only thing that we dwell upon with is only the first three major lokas, that is Sthula Loka, the Kama Loka, and the Rupa Manas Loka. So only these three things as men we are adapted to. The above things, they are existing, but these things, when they are existing, they do not become the part of us, because we do not have the senses of it. All these things are not sensed by a normal human being. So only these three lokas, we have still several lokas ahead of us or above us. And Theosophy tells us man is not a body having the soul. Definitely. Here, the word man is not important. So man is not a body. So the body work, here it is the body. I'm here, I am Adi, I am Adi Keshav, whatever I am. I am not I am. This is not who I am. But generally what we think is, yes, since I am present here, since I can feel it, this is me. But man is not a body having the soul, but man is a soul who possesses a body. That's what this body is like a cloth to me. That's why in Bhagavad Gita also it is said, Vasansi jirinani yatha vihaya navani grihnati naroparani. That means whenever we get bored or the clothes become old, we throw those clothes and wear new ones. The same thing, the soul, whenever this body, this physical body gets old, when it cannot get work properly, definitely the soul changes the body. So this body has nothing to do with the soul. Yes, but at the sthula level, at the physical level, this body becomes the carrier of the soul. So whatever soul wants to do, it has to do in the physical world with the help of this body only. And again, it is not only that body, this body has also many things. Like we have the Annamaya body. This is Annamaya body. Then again, around us, we have the Pranamaya body. And then we have the astral body surrounding us. And we have the lower mental body. And then we have the higher mental body, and so on. So when we show this figure to a newcomer, is it around us like the same thing? Like an aura? No, it is not. It exists in a plane around us. It doesn't necessarily mean that it should be round, and it is it is on the same plane. Think of the same plane, that is it acting. So the body that we consider here is merely a machine. And whenever the machine goes off, whenever the machine is old enough, that machine is changed into a new one. So we are the souls who possess a body to act in various worlds. We have different worlds to act in. And these worlds are interpenetrating one another. Definitely. They interpenetrate each other and they are in the same plane. So these are simultaneously present with us all the time. They are here. Whenever my physical body is there, definitely, whenever the physical body is working actively, that is the Annamaya body, definitely, whenever the Pranamaya body is also there, definitely the other bodies work together. So this is the nature of the man. And to understand it, to purify it, we have to work. That is the essence of Theosophy. Theosophy teaches us to purify each world and to reach the abode. Okay. But the question that is, yes, you told us about a lot of lokas that exist, but we cannot see them. Definitely. Because as I'm talking to you, I can see you. I can see your physical body. But the other bodies that you told, whether it is the astral plane or the mental plane or the bauddhic plane, we cannot see it. Definitely. We can see it. We can see and feel only the lowest part of the world, that is the physical world, definitely, because it is more of senses. As I speak, you hear. We speak the same language or the language which are known by each other, definitely we would work on it. We can understand it. So this is the physical world that we see. The other worlds, to see and feel it, definitely we have to develop our senses. We have to change the frequencies of the working of each lokas. Just like we cannot see the electromagnetic waves which are around us, but with the help of a tuned receiver, we can see the video and hear the audio on a TV screen. The cricket match is going on, but these the electromagnetic waves are around us, but we cannot see it. Only when we have a TV with a perfect tuner of the channel of that particular frequency, again frequency you can call it, or wavelength, whatever you can call it. So when that frequency matches the frequency of the receiver, you can see it. If not, you cannot see it. So, but you cannot say that electromagnetic waves are not there. Or whenever you see it, watch it on TV, where did it all come? Somewhere else the show is going on, but we are seeing on a TV. Yes. You see, something is going on here and it is observed by you at home, but whatever it is happening, you cannot see it. But those things, that cricket match is here. It is also happening here in the physical world, but the same thing is happening here in the form of some waves, electromagnetic waves. Once we are tuned with it, we are tuned with the physical worlds, because in the physical world, what happens is the frequency level that we see is very less. So we are accustomed for that frequency. Once, for example, take the example of sound only. You see, you can hear between, I think, 20 decibels to 120 decibels or so, something like that. So that is the frequency at which you can hear. If it is above, you cannot hear it. If the frequency is below, you cannot hear it. But some dogs or some animals, they can hear even the higher frequencies also. Or some animals, they can sense those things which are coming up. This tsunami and all this, they come to know better than us, because they can sense that the electromagnetic wave, they can absorb the electromagnetic wave. So if you cannot see it, it doesn't mean that it is not there, number one. If you cannot see it, again, it is not your fault, because the receiver that we have is not tuned to that frequency in the physical world, or we are not equipped with the knowledge to observe all those things. That's the thing. So this theosophy enlightens us with man's progression also. Man's progression, that is life after life. We always, it is like an education system. Go to first standard, pass, go to the second standard. If you fail, remain the same one. Then study again and go. So life after life, we study the things, we gain knowledge, we gain experience, and that is dependent on the law of reincarnation and the law of karma. Again, since I'm explaining to a newcomer, I need not explain what is reincarnation, law of karma. We will study that. We can say that we can study it later. So based on these laws, and finally realizing the unity of all that is existent. Whatever is existent, it is one. That could be understood by this process. That is life after life, acquiring the knowledge on the basis of law of incarnation and law of karma. And finally, when you get the master degree, you realize, yes, that is the ultimate knowledge. And once you achieve that, definitely we reunite with that one. Some people call it moksha, some people call it the bliss, some people call it the heavenly abode, some people call it the maximizing world, whatever you can call it. So this is the total one. So the man's progression, life after life, we have to acquire knowledge. We have to live our lives under the law of reincarnation and the law of karma. And we have to realize the unity of all that is existent, and finally reunite with that great one. So in simple terms, we can say man sows in one life, wonderful, and reaps in another life. So whatever I'm sowing in this life, in this class, I'll reap it in the another life. A simple way to say the law of karma. So this is how it happens. So there is always sowing, there is always reaping. You reap whatever you did in the last this thing, and again you also sow it in this life. So reaping and sowing happen, they happen together. That is law of karma. And Theosophy also explains such a beautiful thing. The thoughts and feelings are not aggregation of matter. Our thoughts and feelings, they are not, aggregate. They are not aggregate of that matter, but rather thoughts and feelings are causes of those aggregations. Our thoughts and feelings, they form that matter, the physical matter. Whereas we always think, no, the matter is there. That's why our thoughts and feelings are not there. For a simple example, let's say I have a rock here. Okay. If I may ask you a question, suppose if you are, God-fearing man or whatever it is, okay, you can see here a form of God. So this God, this rock is God to you. Okay. Suppose I'm a sculpture, I can see, oh, I can make a beautiful sculpture. So my way of my feelings, they are not based on that. It is, that is how I perceive a rock. Okay, if I'm a scientist, I'll see what exactly is the chemical combination of this rock is, or something else, or is it a mineral, whatever it is. So the same rock here, the same rock, that's why it is said, Yad bhavyam tad bhavati. You become as you think. You thought it as God, you start praying it. You think it's a good stone for sculpture, you start doing a sculpture out of it. So this is what the essence of it says. Yes, whatever is there, it is because of the feelings and the thoughts we have. Suppose, let's say there are no thoughts and feelings. What is that? It is a rock. I call it rock because of the linguistic purpose. It is there. It is something. That's all. But my feelings say it's a beautiful rock. My feelings say it's an asphalt rock as a scientist. So, yad bhavyam tad bhavati. That's a beautiful thing. Yes, that happens. So, we must see in life the molders and shaper of the matter. So in our life, we must see that molds, which shapes the matter. That means we should change our thinking pattern. We should change the feeling pattern. Yes, it happens even in our own world. Suppose if I see something, I may have a different feeling, and the same thing that you see, you may have a positive feeling, I may have a negative feeling. That happens. So that we must see that the pattern in which we think should be changed. Okay, the next question would be, you have posited certain things about man and his evolution, about reincarnation and karma, about the existence of the matters, masters, etc. Are the facts that can be demonstrated? Yes. For example, when man and his evolution, there are scientific evidences, because whatever science, the physical science says, I do believe. The physical science says, yes, there was a big bang and later on the evolution took place, definitely. About the reincarnation and karma, about the existence, because I don't have solid physical proof. So, as an entrant to Theosophy, are the facts that can be demonstrated? Yes, they can be demonstrated. But look, as a mathematician, cannot demonstrate an abstruse theorem to a primary school student. You cannot do it. Suppose if I go to primary school and start Laplace theorem, first of all, he's just learning A, B, C, D, and E. He's just trying to add those letters and form words, not even sentences, words. And now I say we have Laplace theory or some kind of theory which is very, very, very complex. One should be trained for that. Yes, a 8th standard student can be easily taught about the Pythagoras, the Baudhayana theorem, because he knows what a triangle is, what a right angle triangle is. Without knowing a triangle, without knowing what a right angle is, all these stuff, if you start saying, okay, this is how the Pythagorean equation came, it won't work. So you have to be trained for that. It needs some time. A rigid training is necessary to perceive theosophical teachings as facts. Yes, definitely that's the case. It doesn't happen in 1 or 2 days. Because if it had happened in 1 or 2 days or 1 week or 1 year, people could have stood in queues and joined Theosophical Society. It will not happen, because here you have to only get trained. Nobody else is training you. You have to acquire those knowledge. Okay, and there are people who have verified it. Sir, you say you have verified, they have verified, but how to believe it? How do you believe scientists? Scientists say Big Bang occurred, because you were not there when Big Bang happened, or that scientist, he was never there when it happened. There are certain facts, there are certain evidences which are verified by the masters who are above us in the knowledge level. So by understanding them, by studying them very, very in a proper manner, we can also feel it. Okay. And Theosophy can be demonstrated, though a complete verification of all facts is possible only to perfected men. Definitely, a lot of people ask me when they get confused when we say there are two the monolokas, the upper monoloka and the lower monoloka. They say, what is that? Manas is one, man is one, mind is one. How can you differentiate between the upper one or lower one or all these things? But when you start studying it, yes, this is what happens in the Rupamana, and this is what happens in Arupamana. So it needs knowledge that to be understood. So definitely, everything could be explained, everything could be studied, and evidences could be provided only when we are ready. And what we do is, instead of studying further, a lot of people, when they come to Theosophy, they ask a lot of questions. Those questions, sometimes, yes, it irritates us. We have studied a little bit. Now, because we are in the 2nd standard, those people, they have just entered the LKG. So they want to see how an exactly A looks like, but we are above that. We have already seen A, B, C, D and all this. Now we are trying to connect form sentences. So, but we should also know, yes, even we were at the same stage, and there were gurus, there were people who taught us. So definitely we should help them to pass that stage. Now the next question, very important question is it true that the members of your society are all required to be vegetarians and teetotalers? Not necessarily. Not necessarily you should be a paka vegetarian or something like that. But the next question is, then why are so many of your prominent members, they follow strict vegetarian diet? You see, it's very simple. The earnest student of Theosophy knows that the physical body must be kept perfectly pure if a complete mastery over the body with its passions and desires is to be attained. And a vegetarian is a necessary step in that direction. Number one, this is a basic one. Second important aspect is, by nature, any carnivore, that is flesh-eating animal, is ferocious and restless, whereas the herbivore is very gentle. You can compare between a tiger and a cow, or tiger and elephant also. They're unless it goes to a certain stage, they are very calm, whereas the carnivore is ferocious. Next important thing is, scientifically, it is proven fact, but by nature, biologically, man is a herbivore. That is why we have a long alimentary canal. For example, you can see here the alimentary canal of the carnivores is very small because they digest the undigested food, whereas the carnivore, whichever herbivore you can take, including man, we have a longer alimentary canal because we eat the plant food. Okay, and that plant food requires a lot of space to digest because it needs a lot of other enzymes and other things to be poured in. So biologically, we are herbivores, but unfortunately, some of us, we use it a new word called omnivore. That is both vegetarian and non-vegetarian. There is nothing called an omnivore. Yes, right now, biologically, we can call ourselves as omnivores, but when we see, it is purely we are herbivore people. And obviously, everybody knows vegetarian diet has more nutrition than equal quantity of flesh food. A lot of research have been taken place. Let's not go into deep that because it is available on Google. And obviously, vegetarian diet causes less diseases. Vegetarian diet gives more strength. So that is why most of us are vegetarians. Okay. Next question is, if according to modern theories, even including Theosophy, if everything is living, why may we not eat animals as vegetables? You are eating the plant product, thinking the same thing. Why don't we eat animals? Okay, the important thing is plants produce their own food using the simplest of elements like carbon, oxygen, and hydrogen. That elementary science, you have studied it. And in whichever food chain you go, plant is the basic level of food chain. It's a primary producer. Okay, it produces its own food. And when the food is extra, it gives it to others. So plants are primarily a kind of primarily or formed to be used as food only. Look at any plant. For example, the plants have certain kind of qualities in which only when you eat, then only they will have more number of population. Okay, they give beautiful mango fruit. They don't utilize it for themselves. Those mango fruits, that's a food, and that food is given to others so that the mango seed, whenever animals eat it, they throw it somewhere, it grows, the population grows. You see, the nature, the evolution has brought such a thing that it is the only thing. For example, an animal which is eaten, which will not say, oh, you take away my hand, you eat it, so that I'll grow one more or two more or three more hands. It doesn't happen, but it happens with plants. Plants grow fast when they are eaten. That is in the nature. Okay, now the food we eat, yes, it happens here, has an effect on our mental health and personality. Yes, if you start eating the flesh, you will become like that animal. That animal instincts are brought in there. That's also a root cause of it. So the other question, then you also eschew wines and narcotics. Is it forbidden in Theosophy? It is not exactly, but we know as Theosophists or as normal human beings, it should not be that, this alcohol and narcotics, they affect the brain. They increase the level of dopamine. Especially, you can see a sadhu, it creates hallucinations and illusions. That's why most of sadhus, they consume ganja, because they reach certain age, certain stage where their dopamine, the amount of dopamine produced in the brain, it increases. That gives a blissful stage in the human being. But that blissfulness is temporary, and it is very dangerous also. Okay, so there is nothing as such that you should not consume, or you can consume, or if you are a consumer, you are not entitled, and all these things. But usually we don't it to keep our physical body as purified as possible. Again, a simple question: is it true that rules require members to be to remain unmarried? No, it is not a rule. It is understood, because the marriage brings about a lot of other things, wherein which we can the sansara, the chakra, we call it sansar chakra. Again, we pass on it. It is a natural process. The next question is: we find more misery than happiness in the world. Then why should we waste our time and energy in the study of Theosophy instead of utilizing them for new researches and inventions, which may alleviate a little of the great misery of the world? A good question most people ask. Why to waste time and energy? Every weekend you sit there for 1 hour, you discuss so many things. Will it bring about a change in the misery of the world? You see, all the pain and misery in the world, it can be categorized in 3 heads. The first one is the Adhyatmic misery. The second one is the Adibhautika misery. And the third one is Advaitik, Adivaidik, Adi-Daivik misery. There are certain 3 things. You see, in Adhyatmic misery, it is the pain of body and mind. That is why people are brought in to a side of Adhyatma, what we call Adhyatma, because of the pains of the body and the mind we have. Okay, and next one is Adibhautik. Yes, misery is caused by theft, fear, breach of trust, the central ones, the normal ones that happens in our world, in our normal life. That is Adibhautik. And Adi-Daivik, it cannot be controlled. The misery is caused by the act of nature. Okay, so majoritatively, these 3 are what is eating our mind. Yes, my body, my mind, my situation, etc. The misery is caused by others to us, like breach of trust, all these stuff, and the miseries. Oh, I pray God, we did everything, but there was a natural disaster. You cannot change it. So these 3 things, they can be solved according to their own. Okay, so Theosophy explains you these things. Now, the next question is, How will Theosophy help me in acquiring a fuller knowledge of the laws of life and nature? And why should I be a Theosophist? For this, you see, there are 10 good reasons. Number one, it solves the riddle of the universe, harmonizing the facts of science with the fundamental truth of religion. Number two, it proves life worth living by rendering it intelligible and demonstrating the justice and the love which guide its evolution. Yes, it proves the effect of our life. Number three, Theosophy removes all fear of death and much of its sorrows caused by death by recognizing birth and death, joy and sorrow as alternating phases in a cycle of endless progress. So for a Theosophist, there is nothing called as birth or death. It is only a change of clothes, an interjunction. And joy and sorrows, they are, two parts of the same scale. The fourth important thing is it insists upon the optimistic view of life, proclaiming man the master of his own destiny. Wonderfully, it is said, either we are all child of our pasts. Okay, we are learning by our past and parent of your future. Again, for future, this thing, we are making ourselves as parents, whereas we are learning from our previous lives and we become childs. And whatever we have learned and whatever we are doing it as property, and that property as a parent, we are keeping it for future life. I hope this is easily understood by you. The fifth one, it demonstrates the power, the wisdom, and the love of God, notwithstanding all the sorrow and misery of the world. Yes, the wisdom, the power, definitely there is a scientific way that is universe is formed. Why is formed? There is a certain kind of behind it. So Theosophy explains, demonstrates it. Sixth one is it brings hope to the hopeless, showing that no effort is ever wasted, no error irretrievable. Yes, when you have been to several things where you don't get anything, you come to certain stage and you are struck. But Theosophy moves about that position, and it brings a hope of knowing the unknown. The seventh one is it proclaims the fatherhood of God. And when we say fatherhood of God, we should definitely say our sonship, the sonship of man, and his ultimate attainment of perfection. So, son should become the God. It's not. It's not exactly literally. Don't take it. Yes, we should reach this thing, that blissful position. That's what the aim is, and Theosophy definitely helps us in achieving that. And the next one is it declares the universality of law of causation. Yes, whatsoever man soweth, thus shall he also reap. That too in this world and in all other worlds. Definitely, there is nothing called bhagya, luck, and all these things. Whatever we have sown, we are reaping it today. Whatever we are reaping it today, definitely, whatever we are sowing it today, definitely we will reap in the next life. That's what it says. That's the whole philosophy is all about. So there is nothing, no jadugari, no jadutona, that everything would be all right. No, you are the master of yourself. You can change yourself. Nobody else changes. That is what the ultimate teaching of Theosophy. And the ninth one is, it regards the world as a school to which man returns again and again until all its lessons are acquired. The law of reincarnation. Yes, we have to come back here. We have to learn and whatever wrong we have did, we have to rectify it. That's what. So everything is in our hand. And lastly, the 10th one, it affirms the brotherhood of man and provides a basis of union for all who desire to work for its realization. Yes, we are all brothers because we come from the same, we are the manifestation of the same energy. So that's what the whole theosophy says about. So these are the 10 points that why, if somebody asks, one should join theosophy. So the first chapter definitely aims at this. For 3 weeks, we have studied. Hello? We have studied.
Yes, yes. So you may kind of take off this screen sharing. We will discuss that.
Okay, 1 minute.
Yes.
Okay. So for 3 weeks, we have studied the chapter 1 of a beautiful book written by P. Pavri, who was a mathematician, who was an engineer. It's a wonderful thing. Theosophist explained, a wonderful book. I request everybody, because when I got it, I couldn't stop reading it, the first chapter only. Definitely, it would be helpful. I thank you all for giving me an opportunity, especially the National Federation. Thank you, one and all. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. And you did just justice to the chapter 1. Kudos. It was really great to look at your presentation, hear you explain the things with examples. Just very practical. So as I said in the beginning, we have already read the chapter now along with you, right? So that is the beauty of the sessions. When somebody explains the book, every other person reads that along with the speaker. So probably I was very inquisitive to know, like, chapter 1 completed, beautiful 3 sessions completed, presentation so beautifully explained. I'm sure people would have absorbed something the entire 3 sessions, if not today's, at least the last 2 sessions. There was no question in the last 2 sessions. So anyone probably would like to ask, can ask, or let us spend some time hearing out every participant, how this chapter 1 has contributed to their life, even if it's just one point they have understood and they will pick up. Am I correct? If we do this exercise, because we have time, all participants of the session, if we could speak at least one thing that this entire chapter 1 taught us, which we could practice. That way you can do. If no question is there, please. Anyone can, start speaking. So I can see so many participants. I don't see any question in the chat. That's why I took up this. So can all the participants please participate, can share their experience, share their learnings.
When you don't have questions, either you have understood it completely or not at all understood.
Okay. Let people be vocal. If they haven't understood, maybe we would repeat it. So can the participants please share what is that they learned from this chapter 1 or 2 things which we should pick up and practice? Sanat Kumar ji, then I see Sonalata ma'am, Nalin, my colleague, is here. Then Madhvi, Chandraprabha ji. Can you please speak up? Okay, I think there is no question. There is no such suggestion. You did a great job, Adi. You did a good explanation of it. And we will continue reading the book, other chapters, other speakers. But this chapter 1...
Pradeep is there. Pradeep ji is there.
Yeah.
Pradeep ji.
Yes. Yes, you have done a great work, Adi. Very nice of you. Really, very work the interest you have shown by presenting in your very beautiful manner. I am thinking of that you should come to Banaras when you are free. Then you can present in this way to people and can also give some kind of training experience to the national lecturers who joined, who may join in your class. Very nicely presented. And this vegetarian and all these things, I just, while you are presenting this vegetarian part, I heard Dr. Radha Banyar, once she presented the question answer session, someone asked it, asked her this question. She narrated what her father told, father told to her, that when Brother Lidwitter, as usual, very humble, very humorous, when someone asked Brother Lidwitter that you are allowing some inner group members, particularly Western members, to take egg, whether egg is a vegetarian or non-vegetarian. Then Leadbeater always humorously he was packing his all the documents, means in question and answer some questions. Then he told the audience that I have not seen a plant who was producing egg like this. So vegetarian, that I recollect the story or what Radhaji told us at that time. In a very nice way of presentation, what I learned in last 2 years during COVID period, all these PPT, etc., but I am not able to understand how you are changing all this now and then, presenting so beautiful. Thank you, Adi. I hope you will come in the online program more often than not. Thank you.
Definitely, sir. You invite me, I'm there, sir.
Thank you. Thank you all the audience also. I mean, we had a good session.
One Sanat Kumar Bass. I don't know whether he's still there.
He's there, but he did not come up on video.
He is a professor in physics.
Okay.
From Ujjain, Ratnam. And Ujjain, I met him. Earlier, you must have met him, Subrahna, in Bhavali.
Yeah, I think I met him once.
And the way 3 days study class helped him a lot. He participated, and when I asked what are the important points, he is the only person who came forward, and he has taken a lot of care of both of us. And since then, each morning he is joining in Bharat Samaj Puja and also participating. Anyway.
Very good. No, participants do bring changes in the classroom.
Yes.
That's really nice. Okay, then. So we will close with our ending prayer. And it was beautiful, chapter 1. We look forward to chapter 2 once again. Huh? Thank you. Sarve bhavantu sukhina. Sarve santu niramaya. Sarve bhadrani pashyantu. Ma kaschit dukhabhag bhavet. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Thank you all. We are closing the session. Again, Friday.
On announcement, next Sunday, previously we have presented some important theosophists of different states, federations. And coming 23rd, we are going to present Professor Chintan Mahapatra, former President of Utkal Federation. Chintan Mahapatra, a real theosophist.
Okay.
Dr. Satyavrat Ratha, he will present it.
Okay, good. Thank you. That gives me a lead that we will have our e-newsletter, no? Know Your Theosophist. We would also start working on that. That's good. Thank you. Thank you all. Bye.